I need to start today's video with a little story for you guys, because a few weeks back on my Instagram page, which is @Lee_Sibs, by the way, shameless plug, on my Instagram page I revealed my top 5 911 Rennsports of all time. Well, the 964 RS wasn't in my top 5. Now enter one Mark Sumter, who is the proprietor at Paragon GB. Now, for the record, Paragon GB are a Porsche specialist. They're independent, based in the UK, and for me they are one of the best independent specialists in the UK. In any case, Mark contacted me in the wake of my Instagram posts and invited me to come along and drive this, which is a 964 RS in Maritime Blue. Now, by way of a quick history catch-up, the 964 RS really was the first 911 Rennsport since that iconic 2.7 RS of 1973. Its thesis really was very, very similar to that original. So, a good, strong, performance-oriented engine, very good chassis setup, and add lightness basically, so strip everything out you don't need. In 964 RS form, in terms of lightness, on the outside there were magnesium cup alloy wheels, there were lightweight front and rear bumpers, there was a lightweight alloy front bonnet, there were lightweight doors, the glass was thinner on the side, reduced from 4.7mm to 3mm. Plenty of sound deadening was removed, so this car is nice and loud inside. Door cards, very, very basic. Manual window winders instead of electric. You've got the iconic colour-coded pull grabs instead of a handle. They even removed the interior light. In terms of spec, the car was blessed with a limited slip differential, a lightweight flywheel, and a short shift close ratio G50 gearbox. The RS was seam welded too, don't forget, and split down into 3 variants. The basic, such as the one here, a touring, which featured a few more creature comforts from the C2 and is very rare indeed, plus an NGT, so called because it was built for the FIA's Group N classification of GT racing. Of course, the RS was built to homologate Jürgen Barth's new Cup car, but in itself was an evolution of the 964 Carrera 2. And you can see that in the car's stats. It had only 10 horsepower extra and an identical top speed to the C2, though in saving 120 kilos in weight, it was able to sprint to 62 mph in 5.3 seconds. That's a whopping 4/10 off the C2's best time. This is currently for sale with Paragon, and off the back of knowing how good their cars are, they don't sell any dogs. I thought, well, if there's going to be a car that might change my opinions of the 964 RS, it's going to be this. So, here we are, I'm out driving it, and really, the name of the game today is to find out if my opinions and comments on the 964 RS today have been a little bit uncouth. So, let's find out. think it's absolutely beautiful. My God. The engine is great. I mean, you say 260 horsepower, that's about the same as a hot hatch from today, but I mean, let me tell you, a hot hatch doesn't have this sort of involvement and that sort of shift and this sort of noise. Oh my God. Neither does a modern day Carrera for that matter. The steering on this thing is absolutely exquisite. I cannot think of a better 911, 996 GT3 RS aside, that has better, more communicative steering than a 964 Rennsport. It is absolutely awesome. Now the ride is firm, there's no question of that. I know that's always been maybe a criticism, if you like, of the 964 RS as to just how stiff that ride is, particularly for a car that really, as well as for racing and hill climbs and track days and that sort of stuff, you should be able to go touring in. Would I want to go for a weekend away in Wales with a 964 RS? Yes, I probably would. I think it is palatable. In true Rennsport style, I really do feel like this car comes together as the sum of its parts. I love how noisy it is in here thanks to all the deletion of sound deadening. I love how awesome the gear shift is. I love the weight of the clutch, which I think is perfect. The response, thanks to that lightweight flywheel, is absolutely off the chain. Oh, that sound as well, I just love it. It has to be said as well, and Paragon aren't paying me for this, I want to be totally impartial on this channel, if not there's no point me doing it, but this is probably the best 964 RS I've ever driven. It's done 93,000 kilometres, so 58,000 miles, but I mean, it feels as good as brand new. It is so tight. It's a beautiful car. So yes, I'll admit, I've been a little bit harsh on the 964 previously. Would it get into my top 5 Rennsports of all time now? I would say not, and although this is a phenomenal car, as every RS should be, the reason for it is I still want to see a Rennsport that looks different to everything else in the 911 range, and the 964 doesn't. For some people, like I say, they might like that, but for me, I just want something different. The other thing as well that you just can't get away from is you could make a standard Carrera 2 into an RS, especially with today's technology, you really could. If you were to buy a 964 RS then, you were buying it for its rarity. There's only 2,282 of them worldwide. For years these cars were really undervalued, and now they sit around the £200,000 mark. I think that makes a 964 Carrera 2 look like exceptional value for money, and the reason being is you could buy a good Carrera 2, modify it, it would still cost you half the price of a 964 RS, and you're going to have something like the same car, probably with a bit more of a more palatable suspension. I want to hear what you guys think. If you've owned one, if you've driven one, if you've got one, let me know, tell me your thoughts on it. 964 Carrera 2 owners, particularly you guys that have modified it to evoke the 964 RS, I want to hear exactly what you think on the car as well, because this is a really interesting debate right now. The other thing as well is I really want to thank you guys for the abundance of kind comments and positive feedback I've had on doing this channel today. The internet can be a bit of a dark place sometimes, there's a lot of keyboard warriors out there, I see ya, but I haven't found this channel yet, which is great. Thank you again, and I will see you again soon once I've handed this car back.